You think you're hydrated. You're not. Right now, your brain is running on fumes. Your thoughts are slower than they should be. Your mood isn't real. It's a symptom. And you've been blaming everything else: that's stress, sleep, work, people. But here's what nobody tells you: your body doesn't scream when it's dying, it whispers. And you've been trained to ignore whispers your entire life. That headache, whisper. That brain fog at 2 p.m., whisper. That sudden rage over something small, whisper. You think hydration is for athletes and gym people, but your brain is 75% water, not muscle, not blood. Brain. The thing you use to make every single decision in your life is drowning in its own dehydration, and you keep wondering why you can't focus. Here's the disturbing part. A 1% drop in hydration, one missed glass of water, and your attention span collapses. Your memory glitches. Your emotional control evaporates. 1%, you're walking around 3%, 5%, maybe 10% down, blaming your life for problems your biology is screaming about. So let me ask you again, are you actually drinking enough water? Because if you can't remember the last time you finished a full glass, your answer isn't yes. I don't even know what hydrated feels like anymore. Your brain is not designed to protect you from yourself. It will not send you a notification. It will not ring an alarm. It will just quietly begin to fail, and you will blame everything except the actual problem. Most people think dehydration looks like collapsing in the desert, cracked lips, passing out, drama. But real dehydration, the kind that ruins your day, your week, your life, is silent. It happens in conference rooms, in classrooms, in your living room while you're scrolling your phone, wondering why you feel like garbage. You sit there with a dull headache and think, I'm stressed. You are not stressed. Your brain is running low on the one resource it cannot function without. And instead of drinking water, you're reaching for coffee, caffeine, a diuretic. You are literally making it worse while thinking you are solving the problem. Here is what happens. Inside your skull, when hydration drops, even slightly, blood flow to your brain decreases. Neurons fire slower. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making, focus, and impulse control, starts to dim. You are not thinking clearly. You are not even thinking at full capacity. You are operating at 70%, maybe 60%, and calling it normal. The research is brutal. A 1% drop in hydration impairs attention and working memory. That is not a typo, 1%. One glass of water you did not drink. And most people are walking around 3% to 5% dehydrated every single day, wonder why they cannot concentrate, why they are irritable, why they feel mentally exhausted by noon dot. You are not mentally exhausted. Your brain is physically starved. But here's the worst part. You adapt. Your body gets used to operating in a low resource state. You forget what clarity feels like. You forget what real energy feels like. You start thinking brain fog is just who you are now. You think afternoon crashes are inevitable. You think struggling to focus is a personality flaw. It is not. It is biology. Your brain is 75% water, not 75% motivation, not 75% willpower. Water. The thing you ignore every single day while chugging energy drinks, wondering why you are still tired. And your body will not tell you. It will just quietly begin to shut down non-essential systems. Mood regulation, non-essential. Memory consolidation, non-essential. Complex problem solving, non-essential. What does your body consider essential? Keeping your heart beating, keeping you breathing. Everything else is negotiable when resources are low. So when you sit there feeling dumb, feeling slow, feeling like you cannot think, straight check your water intake before you check your intelligence. But because the problem might not be you. It might be that your brain is trying to run a supercomputer on a phone battery, you think. You are having a bad day. You are not. You are dehydrated, and your brain is lying to you about why you feel terrible. Here's what nobody tells you about mood. It is not always psychological. Sometimes it is just chemistry. Sometimes your anxiety is not trauma resurfacing. It is your hypothalamus registering a resource deficit and triggering a S. stress response. Your body does not differentiate between I am in danger and I am running low on water. Both register as threat. Both activate the same systems. Both flood you with cortisol, the stress hormone that makes everything feel worse than it is. You snap at someone. You feel irritable for no reason. You wake up anxious, already dreading the day, and you think it is your job, your relationship, your life. But dehydration increases irritability, anxiety, and fatigue, not sometimes, consistently, measurably. People who maintain proper hydration report feeling calmer, more emotionally stable, more capable of handling stress, to the same stress. Different hydration levels, different emotional reactions. Think about that. The fight you had yesterday, the one that felt so important. So emotionally charged might have been a resource problem, not a relationship problem. The anxiety you woke up with this morning might be your brain running on fumes, not you. Subconscious trying to tell you something deep. Your emotions are not always meaningful. Sometimes they are just symptoms, but you have been taught to trust your feelings, to honor them, to dig into them, and figure out what they mean. Sometimes they do not mean anything. Sometimes they are just your brain saying, I need water, in a language you do not understand, so you interpret. It is sadness, anger, dread. And here's the most dangerous part. You make decisions based on those emotions. You quit things. You avoid people. You sabotage relationships. You convince yourself you are burned out, that you need a change, that something is fundamentally wrong with your life. Maybe that, or maybe you just need to drink more water. I am not saying all emotional pain is dehydration. I am saying some of it is. And you have no idea which is which because you never test the variable. You never ask, am I hydrated? Before you ask, what is wrong with me? And that is the problem. You are treating every emotional dip like it is a crisis when sometimes it is. Just biology doing what biology does when you ignore it. Dehydration does not feel like dehydration. It feels like life falling apart. It feels like you are not good enough, strong enough, capable enough. It feels like the world is too much and you are too little. But it is not truth. It is chemistry. Your brain on low hydration is not a reliable narrator. It will tell you stories that feel true but are not. It will convince you that you are failing when you are just thirsty. So before you spiral, before you catastrophize, before you make a life decision based on how you feel right now, drink a glass of water. Wait 30 minutes. Then check if the crisis is still real. You are not always hungry, that you are thirsty. And your brain cannot tell the difference. That hypothalamus controls both hunger and thirst. Same region, same signals. And when those wires cross, which they do constantly, you reach for food. When your body is asking for water, that mid-afternoon snack craving, probably thirst, tea. Had sudden urge to eat even though you just had lunch, probably thirst. That late night kitchen raid where nothing sounds good, but you keep looking, definitely thirst. But you eat anyway, because eating feels like solving the problem. It is immediate, it is satisfying, and for about 20 minutes, it works. Then the craving comes back, because you never gave your body what it actually needed. Here's what happens. Your body needs water. It sends a signal. Your brain interprets it as I need something. You see food. You eat. The signal quiets briefly because eating distracts your brain. Then hydration levels drop further. The signal returns and you eat again. You are in a loop. Eating to solve a problem food cannot solve. And over time, this becomes your normal. You think you are just someone who snacks a lot, someone with a fast metabolism, someone who is always hungry. Yet you are not. You are dehydrated, and the scariest part, you have been doing this for so long that you do not even know what real hunger feels like anymore. You cannot distinguish between my body needs nutrients and my body needs water. Everything registers as hunger. So you eat more. You gain weight. You blame your willpower. You try diets. You restrict calories. You fight cravings. And none of it works because you are solving the wrong problem. Drinking water before meals is not a diet hack. It is basic biology. Your stomach registers fullness. Digestion improves. And if the hunger was actually thirst, it disappears. But most people never test this. They just keep eating, wondering why they are never satisfied, why the cravings never stop, why food does not fix the feeling. But food is not the answer. And here's the metabolism piece nobody talks about. Water is required to convert food into energy. Your body cannot metabolize nutrients without it. You are eating, but your cells are not efficiently processing what you eat. So you stay tired. You stay hungry. You stay in a state of low-grade dysfunction, blaming your diet, your genetics, your discipline. Meanwhile, your body is just asking for water. The same water you ignore while chugging soda, coffee, energy drinks, all of which make the problem worse. You think you are fueling yourself. You are dehydrating yourself, and the cruel irony, you are working so hard, tracking calories, avoiding carbs, timing meals, optimizing macros, all while ignoring the most basic requirement your body has, not flavored, not carbonated, not caffeinated, just water. And if you tried drinking a glass before every meal for 1 week, you would see cravings drop, energy stabilize, and clarity return. But you will not, because it sounds too simple, too boring, too easy. You want a complicated solution because you think your problem is complicated. It is not. Or just thirsty. Your body talks to you every single day. You just do not listen. Dry mouth, headache, fatigue, brain fog, dark urine, irritability. These are not random annoyances. They are messages, clear, direct, biological messages telling you exactly what is wrong, and you ignore them. You take ibuprofen for the headache. You drink coffee for the fatigue. You blame your mood on stress. You push through the brain fog like it is a test of character, but your body is not testing you. It is trying to help you. And you keep overriding the signal. This is not about discipline. Discipline is forcing yourself to do something you do not want to do. Hydration is not that. Hydration is listening to what your body is already asking for, but somewhere along the way, you learn to ignore your body. You learn that discomfort is something to push through, not something to respond to. You learn that needing something is weakness, so you ignore thirst the same way you ignore hunger, fatigue, pain. You treat survival signals like distractions, like interruptions to productivity, and your body stops trusting you. It sends signals. You ignore them. It sends stronger signals. You override them. Eventually, it stops sending clear signals at all. It just quietly begins to fail. And you wonder why you feel disconnected, why you feel off, why nothing quite works the way it should, because you trained yourself not to listen. Hydration is not a habit you need to build. It is a signal you need to start respecting. Drink water when you wake up. Your body loses water while you sleep. Every single night, you wake up slightly dehydrated every time. Starting the day with water is not discipline. It is correction. Sip water throughout the day. Not because a health guru told you to, because your brain works best with stable hydration levels, not peaks and valleys. Steady. Drink before meals, not to trick yourself into eating less. To support digestion and check if hunger is real, these are not rules. They are responses. Responses to signals your body is already sending, but you have been taught to ignore signals, to be tougher than your biology, to prove you do not need things, and that is killing you, not dramatically, not all at once, just slowly, quietly. In ways you blame on everything except the actual problem. Your body is not your enemy. It is not trying to make you weak. It is trying to keep you alive, functional, capable, but you keep treating it like an obstacle. You are not winning by ignoring thirst. You are just losing slower. You have been blaming the wrong things, your mood, your focus, your energy, your weight, your stress, all of it real problems. But maybe not the root problem. Maybe the root problem is that you have been ignoring the simplest signal your body sends every single day and wondering why everything feels harder than it should. You do not need more willpower. You do not need a better routine. You do not need to fix your personality. You need to drink water, not as a cure-all, not as magic, but as the baseline requirement for your brain to do what you keep demanding it do. And here is the truth you are avoiding. You already know this. You have always known this. You just did not want it to be that simple. Because if the answer is that simple, then you have been making it harder than it needs to be for years. And that is uncomfortable. But discomfort does not make it less true. Your brain is 75% water. Treat it like it.